everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my favourite subscription boxes and magazines for my two little boys. I've got a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and these subscription boxes are tailored for their age group plus older. So all the things I'm going to show you today would work for any sort of young child, definitely up to the age of 7, I would say. And some of the things I'm showing you actually have different options depending on age as well. So these boxes and magazines have been brilliant for this time of year. It's summer when I'm filming this, and while I've had a subscription for some of these items for longer, they've really come into their own in summer when I really didn't want to be sitting down so much inside working on, I don't know, like phonics or something. I just wanted a nice chilled activity to do, usually in the afternoon when I'm making supper and the boys have had plenty of sun outside and want to do something quiet inside. And these have really been fantastic, so I'm really excited to show them to you. I'm going to start with the one I've had for the longest, and that is the Mud and Bloom box. And this is the single box. You can also get a sibling box. Now, for those of you in the US, Mud and Bloom do not ship, but I'm pretty sure you could find a similar nature-based activity box, or you could DIY it yourself fairly easily too. Now, I've had this for probably, I'm just counting I've got the boxes lined up there, probably half a year, and I really like these. They're so well done. They're really environmental and eco-based. And basically the Mud and Bloom is all about nature activities based on the season, and they are so beautiful. When you open up the Mud and Bloom box, it comes with a whole load of cards that show you the activities for the month, plus there's also like an overview card which I will show you now. And this is what you get every single month, and it's really fantastic. So the first card you get is the introduction to what's in the box, how to contact them, and then some ideas and thoughts on what's happening in that particular month. So for example, in this one, it has the activities of making your own pressed flower pinch bowls, making your own Hapa zone wall hanging, growing carrots, lettuce, foraging for wild rose, leaf spotter quiz, and July's quiz. So this is the leaf spotter and a little nature quiz. So obviously this would work really well for slightly older children than the kids I've got, so definitely like 4+. Toby's a bit young for this box, but he still likes a lot of the activities in it. And then this is the foraging for wild rose card, where it gives you some facts about wild rose, and it gives you a recipe for wild rose jam, and then it has a nice label. So this is something, like I said, if you're in the UK, the box works out as being really affordable, and I highly recommend purchasing it. However, if you were in the US, you could really DIY this yourself. It won't be as easy, and it is wonderful just to get the box in the post, I have to admit, but don't be disheartened if you're watching this in America. You could definitely, or anywhere else in the world, you could definitely create something similar at home, or you might find something similar by a company in your locality. So for the carrots and the lettuce, it just gives you ideas for how to plant and sow them. So there we go, and it also comes with the compost, the compost pellets, and also lollipop sticks for labelling. And then for the Hapa zone wall hanging, it gives you all the things you need for that. So there's the cloth, there's glue and the clips and everything. So where possible, they give you all the items, which is fantastic. And another thing is the pressed flower pinch pot. So while you need to go and forage for the flowers and press them yourself, it has clay, glue, a paintbrush. So you do have most of the items in the kit, which is fantastic. So yeah, this comes every month in our delivery, and I absolutely love Mud and Bloom. I've got a link for it below, if you're interested to try it out. And yeah, it's really, really good. Highly recommend it. I have no issues with it at all. I think it's just perfect. And if you have more than one child, you can get the sibling box, so there'll be double the amount of seeds, double the amount of items, so you can do the activities with 2 children. So yeah, and actually I think it's about £13 or £14 a month, which I think is actually really good value for that box. Okay, so moving on to a box which is actually from America. So this comes all the way from America each month, and is the Kiwi Co Koala box. So the koala box is, I think, up to age 4, and there's activities in this Kiwi company subscription service for all the way up to teenagers, so it's really great. And basically the idea of the Kiwi company is to teach children all about science, so they're all like STEM activities. So this one here is the one we received in the post not too long ago, and it's all themed around glowing nature. So what you get in the box when you open it up is a magazine for the child, and it's just called Imagine, Play and Learn magazine, and it has, in this case, because it's all about glowing things, some items that glow in nature. Then there's a little story with this koala and parrot. This one has a little poem, some facts on underwater things that glow, an activity to make a do-it-yourself firefly jar. And I really like this section at the back. It gives you ideas for some other books that you could buy and read alongside the activities. And actually so far I have actually bought all the books they recommend. So this one has got Glow, which is all about animals with their own night lights. So we've purchased this on eBay and I'm waiting for that to come through. There's Eric Carle's The Very Lonely Firefly, and there's also one called It's Firefly Night. So I have bought all those books. I'm just waiting for them to come through before we open and use this box, because I really like using this as a kind of nature study idea. They had a rainbow box last month, which we loved. We used all the rainbow books they suggested and made all the activities, and actually this transparency up there was from that box, and it was really good fun, and I was really impressed with it actually, and yeah, I love it. So also in the box you get the parents manual. So this one has all the instructions of the activities included. So this box has a mushroom lantern. It's got a glowing firefly made with a glow-in-the-dark sock, and a jellyfish game. So they all look really exciting actually, and I can't wait to get into them. There's also a little scan code that you can click on, and it gives you images and ideas of all the crafts, which I find quite useful. So then the other bits in the box are all items belonging to the different activities. So pipe cleaners. This one's quite an interesting one. There's all sorts of odd items like things to make this glow-in-the-dark jellyfish, a glow-in-the-dark sock, a stuffing, a sort of toilet roll thing, and items for the jellyfish game. So this box looks really exciting, and I know Rupert is going to love this. Definitely perfect for his age, I think, as a 4-year-old. And they do have one which is suitable for younger children as well. But when I looked at it, I just kind of felt like this was ideal for Rupert and probably would kind of cover Toby as well. But I don't know, I might carry on getting this for Toby when he gets a little bit older, and then graduate Rupert up to the next level up. The other boxes for the older children look incredible. The science activities are really, really interesting. Well, this is obviously a very gentle introduction to science ideas. But yeah, I really, really love this. I was probably the most hesitant about this box because, I mean, it's not exactly the cheapest. It is really good value for money, I believe. And I'm really glad I got it. But yeah, I felt like this was more of a commitment than the Mud and Bloom. I felt like that was a little bit cheaper. I think it was about half the price. Well, this one's maybe about £20 a box, or £18 a box, I think. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. It's probably a little bit cheaper if you're in the US. But yeah, it's so good. And like I said, I love getting the books that accompany the whole concepts, and the activities are all really fun and engaging. And yeah, I highly recommend that. I imagine we will probably always have a Kiwi company box now as the kids get older. I just think they're great. Okay, so moving on to my last subscription. This is Little Hands Learning activity box, and I saw this on Instagram and I thought this was a really great idea. So it's quite a big box that comes in the post. This is again a UK company, but they possibly might ship to the US and abroad. If not, there might be a similar thing that you could find, or again, you could DIY a version of this. But this box is all based around a book, which I really liked for Rupert, because Rupert is such a bookworm, and I thought this would be really engaging and fun for summer. So what you get in this box is, again, similar to the Mud and Bloom box. You get your little batch of activity cards with a really nice thank you note from Isabel and Alex, which is very sweet. And yeah, you get your introduction to the box. It tells you all the different activities. And then there's also this wonderful words and phrases from the book. So like I said, this is based around a book. I should have probably shown you that first. And this box, which is July's box, is all about this book, which is The Pirates Are Coming by John Condon and Matt Hunt. And then yeah, there's a whole sheet on really interesting words. So for example, merchant ship, quick as a flash, steamboat, growled. So quite nice thing to kind of explore with your children. Lots of sort of ideas for phonics and things like that. Then there is the activity. So this one has got 2 pirates and a parrot. And then at the end, there are some ideas for engaging with your child and encouraging them to do lots of talking about the book. There's a treasure map, a pirate boat, and hunting for treasure. And then all the things that you need are provided. And for this box, they actually again have one of these codes that you can scan, and then you can actually see the activities, which I find really useful. I kind of like to see an image so I know what we're going to be creating. So then, just like the other boxes, it contains all the items you need. So in this one, we've got a nice tub of gorgeous purple Play-Doh. This one is homemade, so it's all homemade by the Little Hands Learning team. And it's a beautiful colour, beautiful purple colour. So that's lovely. There's a tub here. I can't actually open this one. I'll get my husband to open that. Some play sand for the hunting for treasure activity. There's some sticks here for making the pirate boat. They always include a little tea bag for the mum or for the dad, which I really like. It's quite a sweet thought. There's some glue. Everything is really environmentally wrapped in this box, which I do appreciate. The Kiwi company box does contain quite a lot of plastic, in fairness. So if you're trying to avoid plastic, or you don't have plastic in your home, the Kiwi company box might not be ideal. Although I feel like it balances itself out because it's really educational and I don't use plastic much else in the house. But Little Hands Learning doesn't use plastic almost at all, which is fantastic. So there's the glue. I think this is like a crayon in here, and then they usually have bags with various bits that you need for your activities. My husband keeps disrupting me coming to the window. So yes, in each little package there's all the items that you need. So I think that's for the treasure map, pieces of paper, so that's really handy. So I'll pop all those back in and we'll have a look at the book. Okay, so this is the book. And every month obviously it's a different book. And what I like about the Little Hands Learning is Isabel and Alex. I think both of them, definitely Isabel, have worked as she worked as a teacher, and she's really passionate about phonics and learning, so that really is reflected in this box. It's definitely got like a real push towards reading and literature, phonics, and bringing books alive for children. And I actually often get the question of how do you encourage children to read, and this would be a great way if you've got a reluctant reader or a young child that's just not interested in books. I would definitely give this box a go, because it's going to bring the book alive and make it so much more interesting for those children that find books kind of challenging. And another nice thing is that with that code, the QR code, if you follow that link, she always has loads of other activities that you can do with the book. So it's not just the ones included, it's also extra things. And they are the nicest people on Instagram. So if you had any questions or you wanted other ideas, I would just DM them and they will very likely get back to you very quickly, answering your questions. So For the price of this box, I think you're getting, yeah, you're getting a bit of like teacher expertise, which is nice. And it's a small business, and also it's just a great way of getting books to life and doing really fun games and everything with them. So I just love the concept of this. I think it's so clever, and I can just see it working for all sorts of children, whether you've got a bookworm like my son, or you've got a child who doesn't like books, and this would be fantastic. Or also if you've got a child that really needs encouraging with phonics at school or whatever, you could get them this, and it would be a great way of just like doing a bit of home teaching as well. So I love this, such a clever idea. I'm going to link them below as well, so follow that link if you're wanting to learn more or get in contact with Isabel and Alex. Those are the boxes that I subscribe to every month. There's 3 in total. The Kiwi box for the science, the Mud and Bloom for nature study, and then the Little Hands Learning for the phonics and literature. And I love them. They've been great over summer. Like I say, I highly recommend them, and they are so much fun to receive every month. I think I probably enjoy it just as much as the boys, to be honest. I get so excited opening them up, and yeah, we just slowly do the activities during each month, usually in the afternoons at the moment with summer, but I'm going to carry them on throughout the year. And I know this sounds so nerdy, but I'm really excited for all the Christmas activities because I'm such a Christmas fiend, and I know all those boxes will probably have amazing themes, especially Little Hands Learning and the Mud and Bloom will have great activities for winter. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to now show you a couple of magazine subscriptions we have as well. So when it came to Rupert's age, there wasn't a ton of magazines that I could find for him, so if you have any ideas, do link them below. Definitely for the next age bracket up, I found some incredible ones, so I'm going to link those below. But for his age, I wanted stuff that was quite playful and easy and not too complicated, and I came up with 2. One is sort of nature-based and Waldorf inspired, and the other one is more fun, playful science magazine. So let's start with the Waldorf one because it is spectacular. It is A Year and a Day, and I know some of you who watch my videos subscribe to this already, so you will be just as much a fan of A Year and a Day as I am. But these are so beautiful. I can't quite remember who they're created by, the name of the people behind it, but it's a small company here in the UK, and it's all very like gentle, Waldorf inspired, and each season has a theme behind it. So this was summer's magazine, and it's bees. And as you can see, it's got gorgeous like hand-done illustrations on it. And so each issue has a story and numeracy and just so many different activities. So rhythm and rhyme, a finger rhyme, poem, a story on the queen bee, a game, make a honeycomb book, lots of different activities. There's always a lovely chart showing you different, in this case, pollinators, and more stories, doing how many trees, and then each season comes with a how-to draw section, so that's one's on a seasonal tree. There are some gentle Waldorf inspired phonics, so Tut is for tree, learning all about pollinators and why bees love trees. There's a herbal spotlight on comfrey, a flower hunt, another story, and yeah, it just kind of goes on and on. It's incredible. So it really is a bit like a mini curriculum actually, and just so beautifully put together. Like I said, the illustrations and everything are lovely. So I think I've got 5 of them in total, so I'll just go through them. That was issue number 6. I'm not sure my issue number 5, I don't know what issue number 5 is, but I'll have to find that. I've got number 3 here, which was for autumn, and it's squirrel and nuts, and it's exactly the same idea. So it's got the same sort of structure with games and phonics and everything. beautiful illustrations. Issue number 4 was stars, so a lovely one for winter. Then we have sea, salt and shore, and eggs, birds and nests. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where issue number 5 is, but I'm gonna have to find that because I really want to keep these to use again and again each year. Okay, so moving on to the last magazine, and if you're wondering why there is smoke coming up behind me, it's because my husband is burning weeds in the garden. This is what men do on the weekend. I film YouTube videos, he burns weeds. What can I say? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus for sure. Okay, so the last thing I've got to show you is OKI Dough magazine. This was a recommendation from Mighty Mother on Instagram, who I love. She's got great recommendations for children. And I sort of felt like this was going to be the best bet for Rupert at his age. We don't actually watch OKI Dough, which is on BBC CBeebies, and I think we probably should because it makes so much more sense of this magazine. But it is a great magazine, and each month, I think this comes out every month, there are stories, activities, games, doodles, recipes and a song, and they all follow a theme. So this one is Metamorphosis, and this was a spring issue. And it has a story based on the characters of OKI Dough. Really beautifully illustrated, actually, in really bright colours. Then there's a really accessible story about the, in this case, the life cycle of metamorphosis, but obviously whatever theme it will be talking about, the story of that. And then there's another program-inspired story using that theme. There is a 2 boys story, which I find really complicated, but I think I need to watch the program to understand that. And then yeah, there's another story that you can read with your child and they fill out the gaps, so perfect for a slightly older child. And then this is quite fun. There's a join the dots, but there's also this page here which you look through the light to see the insects inside the cocoon. There's a spot the items and colour in, a beautiful big butterfly to colour in, which is lovely. I love the paper this is printed on as well, it's gorgeous. A number caterpillar to fill in the numbers, counting butterfly, so really nice like numeracy for school children. Tracing the words, again all themed around metamorphosis, a moth maze, another maze, another word activity, a song, and again it has like a little code that you can scan to listen to it. Really fun activities actually. This one is a caterpillar. This one is Rupert's favourite page because he loves what the like Where's Wally kind of style books. So this is a search and find page, which is really, I mean, that is lovely, really well illustrated. And then a themed recipe, and even more activities. So really fantastic. And then there's another activity there to cut out. So actually an amazing magazine. It's £5.20, but for that price, as you can see, you get so much stuff. This would be a great magazine to take on car journeys, or if you want a little bit of quiet time, I think you could definitely get your child engaged with this. I'm not quite sure what age this is for, but definitely I feel like those early years in school when kids are learning to read and write, this would be perfect. So you can also watch OKI Dough apparently on HBO Max and Netflix if you don't have access to BBC. So I'll give you a quick look at the space exploration one, and all these you can buy even though they're past issues, so if any of these appeal to you, you can get them. I'll link them below. So again, you've got that story, all about a space station. So that goes on for a few pages. Again, that 2-boys story, which I need to figure out. Fill in the gaps or fill in the blanks story. A colour me in page. And again, all those lovely activity pages in there to do with your child, or for them to do independently depending on their abilities. Lots of phonics, numbers, a lovely page on famous astronauts and another colouring activity. A fantastic activity on erupting Mars painting. Beautiful search and find there. And space themed wobbly alien jelly recipe. Another few pages of activities. And this one's actually a game that you can play with counters. And then there's an activity for making a Mars rover, and that's a 3D activity, and these are the bits that you cut out for that. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Every time I go through these OKI Dough magazines, I'm always blown away by how much really good quality activities they cram into these, and they're nice size, they're not too big, so they're nice for little hands. And yeah, if you've got a child who's a fan of the OKI Dough, this would make even more sense. But even if they're not, like my children don't watch much TV, but they still love this. They still think OKI Dough is brilliant, and they, you know, they seem to grasp it really well. And because they're themed around a science idea like metamorphosis or space, they're a fantastic thing to kind of pull into your own studies that you might be doing at home with your kids. So absolutely brilliant, love those. And yeah, that's everything that we subscribe to at the moment. If you've got any recommendations, do leave them in the comments below. I would love to know what you've been enjoying. I'm always on the hunt for good activities for my kids. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you have a spare moment, do go over and check out my Patreon community. It's all about slow living, seasonal living, so plenty of content to watch on there from the past few years that I've been doing it. So if you want to support the channel, that's a great way of doing so, and I do really appreciate it. Otherwise, another way of supporting the channel is to shop via my links below. That always gives me a little help as well. But yes, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!